This space is become our healing circle here, which is the free version. Each month, we are going to move through a framework called Become. B is for the body, E is for emotions, C is for connection, O is for orientation, M is for meaning, and E is for embodiment. Become is not a ladder, it's a cycle of return. We don't start with fixing, we start with healing where it actually lives in the body. This month, because we're going to go month to month, this month, which starts today, we're exploring what it means to live inside yourself again, instead of managing, fixing, or monitoring yourself. Hello, I'm Dr. Debbie, and this is Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. We offer gentle, evidence-informed, soul-rooted practices for adults, children, and families, supporting whole person healing, health, and wellness with a special focus on nervous system regulation, emotional wellness, identity and self-connection, healing in everyday life, and balance that actually works in the real world. Our work is guided by the power of three: energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, and herbal wisdom. We strive to help heal the whole person, a truly comprehensive, integrated approach. This work continue in a sustainable and accessible way. We have created Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio on Patreon. Patreon allows this work to exist without overwhelm, without high financial barriers, and without asking people to do more than they are able. There is a space for you here at whatever level feels right. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. For those joining me for the first time, I'm Dr. Debbie, and this is a space where we learn to heal together. And I want to get into tonight's topic right away. Tonight is Tuesday, January 27th. It's hard to believe that January is almost over. Remember, this month we are talking about the B in Become, which is our framework for healing, which is grounded, of course, and founded upon our power of three. But B for the body. And tonight's topic is small body supports that change everything. Why tiny adjustments help the body settle faster than big plans. Once again, welcome. I'm really glad that you're here tonight. This is our free healing circle, a place where we don't demand transformation, don't push progress, and don't turn care into another responsibility. Tonight is for anyone who has ever thought, I know I need support, but everything feels like too much. If that's you, you're not behind. You're listening honestly. What we will explore tonight, my friends, is we're talking about small body supports, the kinds that don't look impressive, don't require motivation, and don't need a plan. We'll explore why the body responds better to tiny adjustments than big intentions, and how consistency creates safety in the nervous system, and why doing more often backfires when the body is tired. Then we'll go into how to choose one support that actually fits your life, and then how small supports can quietly change everything. Let's bridge back a little bit into some of what we've learned already in prior live streams. For example, yesterday, we talked about how the body often asks for support before insight. We named that overwhelm is not a personal failure, it's a signal that support is missing. Today builds directly upon that truth. Once we recognize the body needs support, the next question becomes, how much support can the body actually receive? And this is where many people unintentionally overwhelm themselves again and even more. The core truth for today is this: the nervous system does not relax because you made a good plan. It relaxes because it recognizes predictability. The body doesn't need intensity, it needs to know what's coming. As always, we have our 5 core learning points tonight, and we will start with core learning point number 1. Big plans can feel like pressure to the body. We often associate healing with commitment, new routines, new labels, new schedules. But for a body already under stress, big plans can feel like another demand. Just imagine a body under strain doesn't want a mountain to climb, it wants a place to sit. This is why, my friends, for example, if anyone has been here, I know I've been here and done this many times in my life. All of a sudden, you're like, I'm going to change my life. I'm going to change how I eat. I'm not going to eat any more junk. I'm going to change my whole diet. And you get everything, organized and in your head and on a piece of paper, everything you're supposed to do, and it requires all of this stuff, and you got to go shopping, and you have to get your fitness plan in place and go to the gym, and you got to do that, and you got to do that, and there's 25 things you have to do. What usually happens? You either quit before you get started because you're now overwhelmed. You may procrastinate and say, oh, I'll start next week. So you don't even start. Your stress level goes up since you're now overwhelmed, which means you're putting pressure on your body systems. Maybe your blood pressure is increasing. Maybe you're more agitated. You're more emotionally unstable. You're snippy with people. You're nervous all the time, or maybe you withdraw. That's what this is talking about. Big plans, putting high demands, actually work in the reverse of what we want. We don't want to shut down ourselves due to overwhelm, or we don't want to, make ourselves crazy, and we end up, nobody can live with us, for example. Think about this. When you think about doing everything right, does your body soften or tighten? That's what I'm talking about right there. Learning point number 2, the body learns through familiarity. The nervous system organizes around what it recognizes. The same time, the same place, same simple input. That's why children calm with routine and why adults do too, even if we pretend otherwise. This is a really, really important point. I have said on every live stream, I think, since I started, at the end, or when we get to our 5 reflection questions, I'll say, start once a week just for 5 minutes. Start journaling once a week just for 5 minutes. I didn't say journal every day. I didn't say make it a half an hour. Just do one thing and establish that in a routine if you're not doing it, because it's something new. Why? Because the body likes and functions well and experiences safety through what it recognizes as familiar. Just think if you have a daily routine and you try to add or take away something from it, it's very uncomfortable. So when we are trying to make changes in ourselves, it's the small things that count over time, because the body will become able to recognize it, and then that becomes part of your new routine naturally, not forced. So let's think of a real life example of this then. Think about how your body responds to a familiar chair, a favorite mug, or a regular parking spot. Nothing special, just known. It's amazing. You know, I was in K-12 education for many years, and we have all teacher meetings and orientations and all sorts of things, types of meetings that go on. And usually there's the same meeting room that you go to each time. And it's amazing how most people go and they sit in the same place all the time. Why? Because it's familiar. So think about some real life examples in your world. Learning point number 3, small supports lower the cost of care. Large changes require energy, decision-making, and follow-through. Small supports cost very little. Examples of some new small reports, different from some of the things that we've talked about. Turning off background noise before answering a message. Sitting instead of standing while thinking. Letting yourself arrive early and do nothing. Choose one comfortable outfit instead of the right one. And eating something simple before hunger turns sharp. These supports don't fix anything, they lower the strain. Now, I have a question for you that I want you to think about. Which small adjustment would reduce effort for you right now? Learning point number 4, too many options can dysregulate. This is a big one. Many people collect tools, tips, and routines and then feel worse trying to choose. The body settles when options are limited. One support is often more regulating than 10. For example, the body prefers one open door over a hallway of choices. Now let's think about this. If you reflect on your days and some of the norms within your day, and you are searching for answers to a problem, whether it's a problem at work, a problem in your life, and you have 30 answers you're going through. That's too much. It's going to overwhelm you just trying to make a choice between the 30 answers. How about 1 or 2, 3 to look at? So just remember that metaphor of The body prefers one open door over a hallway of choices. What happens when you allow yourself to choose just one thing? Make a choice make a choice for just one thing, not 10 things you're going to do out of the 30 things that you were reviewing. Learning point number 5, repetition builds safety quietly. Safety is not created by doing something once. It's created when the body learns. This happens again. That's how trust forms, not through effort, but through return. And we've talked about that. Safety is not a breakthrough, it's a rhythm. Now, how does this play out in real life, and why does it even matter? In daily life, this shows up when people abandon healing because it feels overwhelming. Care becomes another item on the to-do list, and the body shuts down instead of opening. Small supports keep the door open. They allow care to live inside life instead of outside it. So, why do small supports work, and how are they connected to our power of 3? So, remember, we're talking about small adjustments reduce physiological load. In energy medicine, consistency reduces inner pressure and self-judgment. So when you have consistent practices where you are channeling your energy, using your energy, releasing negative energies, etc., then it reduces that inner pressure, because now you've gotten rid of all the junk, and you've gotten your energy moved around and channeled and in the right places. You've cleared out, you've readjusted. That's why energy healing is so important. And then because you've reduced the inner pressure, because you're more balanced, self-judgment goes down. Self-criticism goes down. Now, when we talk about Ayurveda-inspired living, I always go back to rhythm. There's a rhythm in nature. We're part of nature. Repetition mirrors natural cycles the body already trusts. Together, these both, the energy and the rhythm, creates a felt safety, not forced change. So if you're doing the energy work and you are aligned with Ayurvedic inspired living principles, first of all, that you know them and you understand them and you apply them, what happens is you become more aligned with the natural rhythm of your body, because we are aligned with nature. We're part of nature, which works in cycles. So let's talk about some quick support ideas, just small ones, not practices, just options. In Ayurveda-inspired living, for example, you can warm your hands before touching your face. So you just warm your hands, rub them together, or run them under warm water, whatever you want, and then just touch your face. Now, remember what happens when you touch your face when you're very cold, and now when you touch your face and your hands are warm. What's the difference? Another small, quick support practice: eat one meal at the same time daily. You know, because of our busy lives and everything, maybe you can't do 3 meals a day at the same time every day, but choose one and eat that at the same time every day. That is a way to have a rhythm within what you are doing that is directly entering in your body and impacting your body. So you develop a rhythm between your eating and your body. Pause between switching tasks. When you're going from one in your quick day, going from one thing to another, just pause between them just for a little bit. In energy medicine, for example, let's talk about some energy inspired small little supports. Lower lower your shoulders before responding. We tend to get all tightened up like this all day long. Well, before responding to something, just take a moment and just release. Let your shoulders fall. Another one, exhale longer than you inhale once. Another one, place attention on the soles of your feet. Some herbal medicine inspired supports. Keep a steady scent nearby. It could be mint, citrus peel, or lavender sachet. Drink something warm between activities. Or step outside briefly without a goal. Try some of these and let us know in the comments if you re-listen to this, and let us know. Let me know how it worked for you or what you found helpful for you. Now, our 5 reflection journal questions. If you haven't started journaling, please do once a week, 5 minutes just to start. Number 1, what kind of support feels possible for you today? Not ideal, just possible. Number 2, where might I be asking my body for more than it can give? Ask yourself that. Number 3, what does my body respond to when things are familiar? Number 4, how do small supports change my sense of pressure? Number 5, what would it mean to trust repetition instead of intensity? And folks, tonight we learned and explored why small supports regulate more effectively than big plans, how predictability creates safety, why the body trusts what repeats, how lowering effort increases capacity, and why healing doesn't need to look impressive to work. Now, as always, let me remind you, if you are thinking, I want help, identifying which small supports actually work for me. That's what we explore more deeply in Patreon, where we personalize and slow the work down and go deeper. We get into specific practices. We do energy healings. And if you want gentle body-centered resources, you can return to anytime. You'll find it there, journals, guides. In my stand store, I have things already there for you. Both of these platforms, the Patreon and the Stand Store, are out there for you. The Patreon right now, we are building our Founders Healing Circle. The first 50 people get in for $7.99 a month. Check it out. The link is in the description. And in the Stand Store, I have 3 resources there that could be very helpful. The only point there I want to make is if you become a member in the Founders Circle on Patreon, the journal, the digital journal that's in the Stand Store is completely free for Patreon members. You get it for free. But just check everything out. The links are in the description. Now, my friends, thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for choosing gentleness instead of pressure. Have mercy on yourself and be empathetic with yourself. Choose gentleness always. Nothing you felt tonight was wrong. Nothing needed fixing. This week, we are learning how to support the body we already live in with simplicity, steadiness, and care. Remember, healing lives here. Wholeness lives within you. I will see you tomorrow. Endless peace, love, and light to you. And I'll see you in the circle. Now, that leads me to where we are right now in our little mindful moments and micro learning for this Monday. I came across this book. It's called The Science of the Sacred, Bridging Global Indigenous Medicine Systems and Modern Scientific Principles. Now, I actually came across this book by accident. But when I did and I started to read it, it really is an example and exemplifies why, the complete why of Evolve Global 22. And tonight, I want to just talk a little bit about the introduction, because that will give us a segue into what's coming as we read this. You start to feel better, but you don't feel driven. You feel calmer, but also unsure. You don't want what you used to want, but you don't yet know what you want instead. This often happens and is a natural part of true healing. That space is not failure. It's Hello, I'm Dr. Debbie, and this is Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. We offer gentle, evidence-informed, soul-rooted practices for adults, children, and families, supporting whole person healing, health, and wellness with a special focus on nervous system regulation, emotional wellness, identity and self-connection, healing in everyday life, and balance that actually works in the real world. Our work is guided by the power of three: energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, and herbal wisdom. We strive to help heal the whole person, a truly comprehensive, integrated approach. This work continue in a sustainable and accessible way. We have created Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio on Patreon. Patreon allows this work to exist without overwhelm, without high financial barriers, and without asking people to do more than they are able. There is a space for you here at whatever level feels right. Healing happens here. Wholeness lives within you. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio. I am Dr. Debbie, and I am here for you tonight. How is everybody? I had a very interesting day today. This has been a very interesting week. I want to share something before we get into the circle, before we get into the live stream, because, you know, sometimes we come across or meet people or have interactions, and you just leave that interaction going, I leave it saying, I'm going to pray for that person. Because I had somebody sort of, I don't know, not really attack me, but the way that it came out was very interesting. So this person has obviously seen some of my live streams, obviously knows a little bit about me or in some way, and reached out to me and made the statement privately. This was not done publicly. That, you know, what was I doing? I'm not a physician. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a, whatever. I'm all of these things that I'm not. And they basically were saying, why are you doing what you're doing? And who's going to listen to you? That's what they were saying. So it was a put down. It really was a put down. And I want to remind everybody tonight that if you have something you're striving toward, don't let anybody rain on your parade. Because how I answered this person, I said something like this. I said, yes, I'm not a physician. Yes, I'm not a psychologist. Yes, I'm not all of those things that you said that I am. I'm not the best videographer. I'm not all of they had a whole list, by the way. But I said, you know what I am? I'm somebody who cares about people. I'm somebody who loves people. I'm somebody who is highly educated, who is a lifelong learner, who has, been at it for many years to heal myself. Because back in the day, we did not have everything that's available today. And then even when it became available later on, it was so costly, I couldn't afford it. I can't afford to go, or couldn't afford to go for one weekend or one session or one something for $1,200 with one of the gurus. I couldn't do it. So what did I do? I learned and educated myself in specific areas, the power of three, energy medicine, Ayurveda inspired living, and herbal wisdom. I practiced on myself. I went through my own journey, and here I am. And, I asked this person after I went through everything that I wasn't, and then said, well, I am this. And I am learned, and I am knowledgeable. And I am here as an example that the common person can educate themselves and educate and gain an education at whatever level they want, in whatever field they want, and then become a lifelong learner, and then share knowledge and experience and journey with others. And I simply ended the whole thing with, may I ask you a question? And the person said, okay. And I said, what are you doing for yourself and for others? Do you have a YouTube channel? What are you doing? What are you doing? And there was no answer. So the people that scrutinize us the most are the ones who can't do it themselves. And you know what? I have no ill will toward this person. I'm not upset. I'm not anything. Like I said, I pray for this person because this person is lost. But what I want to remind every person who watches me, every person who has been on their journey with me, every person that hears what I'm saying, if you have a dream, everybody has a story. Go for it. Don't let anybody, from your closest people to anybody, stop you. Educate yourself, gain knowledge, and it doesn't have to cost, thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that you can't afford right now. Yes, I did spend thousands of dollars for my education and for, certificates that I have, and licenses that I have, and different things. And I did get a practitioner certification in energy healing. I did go through formal training in a lot of areas. And I did, when I could, I did, pay for that. And I spent, and it was an investment as far as I'm concerned. But you don't have to. I am here to tell people and to be an example for people that you can heal, you can overcome whatever obstacles are in your way. And there is somebody here who's not asking for $1 million to help you. So I wanted to start tonight's live stream because I think that everybody experiences these kinds of negativities at various times. Even I do. I'm just like you. but I wanted to share with you how I handled it. I wanted to share with you live, publicly, that I get this too, and that's how I responded. So now let's get into tonight. Today is Wednesday, January 21st, 2026. This is Evolve Global 22's Healing Circle. This is a free healing circle on YouTube. Remember, we have our founding members circle on Patreon now, and you can become a part of that. As a founding member, it's only $7.99 a month, and we do deep dives. I do group meditations, practices, healings, all sorts of things there to be of a support for others who are on this journey. And I don't want to leave anybody out, and it is affordable. So please check out Evolve Global 22's Healing Light Studio on Patreon and become a member of the Founders Healing Circle. You will not regret it. Now let's talk about our topic tonight. Remember, everything we do, everything at Evolve Global 22 is grounded in the power of three: energy medicine, Ayurveda inspired living, and herbal wisdom. And it is guided by our new framework, Become. And we are focused now on the body for this month, the Be and Become. And tonight's topic, my friends, is the body is a place to live, not a problem to solve. Chronic illness, consciousness, and the science of living systems. Before we enter into today's teaching, let's just chit chat for a moment. We've been building an arc throughout this week because the nervous system learns through coherence, not isolated insights. Earlier this week, we established foundational truths. Healing begins with safety, not effort. The body responds to relationship, not pressure. We do not fix systems, we support their intelligence. Today, we deepen that understanding through the Be of Become body, and we ground in modern science and ancient wisdom. Today's core truth: the body is not a machine to problem solve. It's a living, adaptive, conscious system to inhabit. My friends, this is not a philosophy. This is biology. This is physics. This is consciousness research. Now, let me just give you something to think about. I want to start out with sort of a little metaphor, something for us to have in the back of our minds. Imagine that your body is like a house that has been living through a long storm. The lights are on everywhere. Doors are locked. The alarm system is running nonstop. Not because the house is broken, but because it learned to stay alert to survive. That's what chronic stress and chronic illness do to the body. They keep the alarm system on. Now, why does that idea matter in healing? A house can't do maintenance while the alarm is blaring. In the same way, the body can't prioritize repair when it's constantly preparing for danger. Here's a truth. Your body is not something that you need to control. It's a living system that you can learn to cooperate with. Now, let's get into our healing circle tonight. Remember, tonight is about living systems versus mechanical models. Most of us were taught to understand the body as a machine. Parts break, symptoms mean failure, fixing means forcing correction. But modern science, my friends, no longer supports this model. The body is a complex adaptive system. It's nonlinear, self-organizing, and responsive to information, context, and perception. Chronic illness is not proof of failure. It's evidence of long-term adaptation under constraint. Now let's get right into our learning points. Core learning point number 1. The body learns faster than the mind. We are talking here about neuroplasticity and survival learning. The scientific foundation for this is the body learns through neural patterning, autonomic conditioning, and cellular signaling. This learning happens below conscious awareness. By the time the mind asks what's wrong, the body has already adapted. In chronic illness, the body may have learned energy conservation through fatigue, heightened sensitivity through pain, system shutdown through inflammation. Not because it malfunctioned, but because this is what kept the system alive. Let's consider this from a quantum and systems lens. At the cellular level, biology operates through information exchange, not command and control. Cells respond to signals, probabilities, and environmental cues. This mirrors quantum principles. Systems respond to context, not certainty. What is a real-life application of this? When people improve too quickly, symptoms often flare. The body reacts to unfamiliar states. Healing must be paced, not forced. Let's pause and think a moment. Ask yourself this question. What survival intelligence might my body still be running? Core learning point number 2. Chronic illness alters time perception. Biological rhythms and chronobiology, natural physiological rhythms, and cyclical functions. The scientific foundation of this is the body runs on circadian rhythms, the body's 24-hour internal clock. Ultradian cycles, natural reoccurring patterns of activity and rest lasting less than 24 hours. And cellular repair windows. Chronic stress and illness distort time perception at the nervous system level. This is why healing becomes nonlinear, cyclical, and non-predictable. There are periods of progress and setbacks as the brain struggles to regulate the body and the body stays in survival mode. This is not resistance, this is biology recalibrating. Now let's look at this from a consciousness lens. Consciousness does not experience time linearly. Neither does the body, hence forcing linear progress creates physiological incoherence. It's off. The system is off. It cannot be coherent or together in this way. A real-life application, people crash when they try to catch up. Honoring rhythm restores coherence. Let's think and reflect about this. What happens when I stop measuring healing with a clock? Core learning point number 3. Symptoms are regulatory outputs, not always messages. That's systems biology. The scientific foundation behind this. In systems biology, symptoms are outputs, not errors. They regulate load, demand, and safety. Pain, fatigue, inflammation often function as protective governors. From a quantum biology lens, at the micro level, biological systems operate probabilistically. Symptoms often reflect threshold states, not linear causes. A real-life application of this: over-interpreting symptoms increases threat signaling. Stabilizing the system often reduces symptoms intensity. Ask this question: what if this symptom is signaling, not failing? Core learning point number 4. Identity shapes physiology. The scientific foundation of this: thoughts, beliefs, and identity alter immune signaling, change hormone release, affect inflammatory pathways. The body doesn't know diagnoses, my friends, but it responds to how it is treated under them. Now let's look at this learning point through the consciousness lens. Identity collapses possibility. Awareness restores flexibility. A real-life application of this: separating care from identity expands capacity. Ask yourself this and think about it deeply. What expectations am I unconsciously reinforcing? Core learning point number 5. Micro agreements rewire trust. That is neuroplasticity and predictive coding. The scientific foundation of that: the nervous system predicts based on past reliability. Big promises fail. Small, consistent actions retrain expectations. This is predictive coding, not motivation. Through the quantum lens, stability emerges from repeated coherence, not force. Let's think about a real-life application of this. Healing stabilizes when the body trusts the environment. Ask yourself this: what agreement can my nervous system actually believe? Now, let's summarize what we learned tonight. The body is a learning system, not a broken one. Chronic illness reflects adaptation, not failure. Healing follows rhythm, not timelines. And symptoms often regulate load. Trust is rebuilt through consistency. Our 5 reflection questions that I want to leave you with. And if you have not started journaling, please do. Start even one day a week for 5 minutes. Reflection question number 1. What survival pattern does my body still run? Reflection question number 2. Where am I imposing linear expectations? Reflection question number 3. Which symptoms might be protective? And number 4, how does identity shape my physiology? And last, number 5, what small signal of safety can I repeat? My friends, you are not behind. Your body is not confused. It is responding intelligently to everything it has lived through. Healing doesn't come from pushing or fixing. It comes from compassionately and slowly putting the right supports in place. Supports that help the body return to alignment, regulation, and trust. At Evolve Global 22, we do this through our Power of 3 approach: energy medicine, Ayurveda-inspired living, and herbal wisdom, woven together inside our Become framework: body, emotion, connection, orientation, meaning, and embodiment. This is not about doing more. It's about doing what actually supports life inside you. If you feel called to go deeper, to belong to a community rooted in true healing rather than the hustle or fixing, our Healing Circle on Patreon is where we explore this work more fully. Together, we gently expand and align daily rhythms, practices, and ways of living with who we truly are. And we gather for live energy, somatic, and shamanic informed healing sessions, breathwork, and deeper integration. And before we close, a gentle reminder, this Friday we come together in collaboration where we'll continue this conversation through shared presence, connection, and lived experience. My guest will be Heartful Muslima. She is phenomenal and amazing, and I want you to hear what she has to say regarding the work that we do here. You don't have to walk this alone. You are welcome exactly as you are. Remember, healing lives here, but wholeness lives inside you. Peace, love, and light. I love you all. Take care. I'll see you in the circle. The first practice, and I'm going to shift here a little bit, is called the vagus nerve slide. And I want you to sit tall. So roll your shoulders back and just loosen them, but sit so your posture is good. Keep your head still and facing forward. Now you're going to shift your eyes all the way to the right as if you're trying to see your ear. And you're going to hold them there and keep holding them there until you wait for a release. And what you're looking for is a yawn, a sigh, or a deep swallow. This is your natural dietitian switching from survival back. Here are 5 ways healing changes identity. Number 1, you stop automatically saying yes. Healing restores internal choice. For example, you hesitate before commitments you once accepted instantly, not because you're difficult, but because your energy now matters. Healing reintroduces consent into your life. Number 2, old motivation no longer works. Fear, for example, guilt, pressure, and urgency lose their power. For example, you can't push yourself with shame anymore. Hustle talk feels